Hi guys, this is Brittany. This is my first post for EDL 558. I'm going to go ahead and jump in with my personal philosophy for social justice, which I really felt like the text kind of described for me. Readings for Diversity and Social Justice by Adams et al. On page 34 says each form of oppression is destructive to the human spirit, and that's really the motto that I try to go and live life by. I know last semester I was in the Student Development Theories course, and it really did open my eyes to all of the different oppressions that our society has. It's not so obvious, I feel like, especially for me, having that privilege of being white, but having the oppressive identity of being female, and never really connecting the different oppressions and how that affects lives, all of our lives. And so I just really appreciate the fact that they mentioned this, because I feel like if even one of us is being oppressed, all of us are being impacted negatively in some form or matter. I mean, you're not acknowledging the other person. Even if you had all the privileges of every single area that they give, you're still having something taken away from you when there's oppression in the world, because you're not living life to the fullest. You're not acknowledging all of the beautiful diversity that is in the world. And so it's definitely something that I agreed with the text with. There were some parts where I didn't so much agree or felt like the terminology could be improved upon, mainly with the disability and the able-bodied verses. On page 16 they mentioned about eyeglasses. I have written here that they weren't seen as disabled. I don't think that's quite what the text was getting at. I've really tried to think it through after reading it a couple times. I think what it was trying to get at was what it mentioned earlier when we typify someone as blind, that really kind of consumes their identities. We don't see them as a man or a woman. We don't see them in their age, or we see them as being blind. So it takes over everything, versus if you wear glasses, it's just another part of your identity. But the way it read, it kind of sounded just that it wasn't a stereotypical, it wasn't an identity to have that could really be an oppression. And I wear glasses. And I can definitely tell you that I've had some oppressive statements. One that was actually as recent as last year. I wear glasses very often to work. I get very lazy and don't feel like putting contacts in. And so one day I kind of felt like not being lazy for a change and wore contacts, and I had comments from coworkers, from adults, saying, "Oh my God, don't wear your glasses ever again. You look so pretty without your glasses." And it was definitely meant in a flattering light. It was definitely meant in all positivity, and I knew that they didn't mean to hurt my feelings for the world, but it also kind of came off as, "Hey, you look ugly with your glasses on." And so it kind of brought that thought to mind, and really the stereotypes we hear during school-age children with four eyes, and geeky children with glasses. And so I just really didn't connect with that sentence. And again, a second piece, with the disability and ability, I felt like the weight issues, the weight oppression, was not brought into the text as much as I kind of expected it to be. The only real category I could really identify it other was disability and able body, which I really don't agree with, just because weight issues, I feel like, are so much more diverse than that. Because I mean, there's morbid obesity, which would obviously be a disability, but there's also those who are overweight, who I don't really consider being a disability. So maybe it's just my personal issues with the terminology, which is what I feel like it is, but just something that I didn't really agree with in the text. Another piece I do want to touch on is the social justice and its critics video. I really did appreciate the different views there, just saying, society is not like a family where one person is distributing all the wealth. It's a whole bunch of distributors. I do still think that there is oppression, and that there is chances that we can improve as a society, but I did appreciate the other side of an argument that was really strong for that piece. For the social justice project, the two identities that I chose, one is racial identity. I do want to look into African American culture. Being an employee at Lewisburg College, a majority Black college, I do want to start to learn about different ways that I can kind of work with that in the social justice light. The other one is actually disability. I do want to learn more about the ways that we can discuss those topics, especially in higher education. I feel like that's especially important because they're an identity that can very often be overlooked. I feel like, you kind of hear about these ways that they can be accommodated, but other than that, there's really no, discussion of learning or anything, and I feel like that's something that can be improved upon, and hopefully something I can learn more about in this course. So it's definitely something I look forward to learning about in the project. I can't wait to meet you all and get to know you a little bit better. So I hope that you all have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye.